Hi guys, this is Andy from wholesale-help.com and welcome to a brand new video series for 2013. A new set of videos on a totally new subject for this YouTube channel. We're going to be talking on a regular basis about thrifting, essentially about buying and selling used items to make a profit on eBay and on Amazon. And I'm going to be going through some details and some things to help you build your own business and to hopefully make your own profits. And hopefully this will be something that will grow and you can interact with me about this subject. I'd appreciate any comments and questions, and I'm quite happy to answer questions and do answer videos and frequently ask questions and all sorts of cool things like that. So this first video is more about introducing how this whole thing has come about and what I intend to do with the series. Now, somehow I have managed to actually get the second video uploaded onto YouTube before the first, which is pretty smart because to cut a long story short, I recorded this video here, wasn't really happy with how it turned out, and then went on and recorded the second one and didn't realize that I hadn't uploaded this first video. So if you've seen the second video, this will probably make more sense after you've watched this one. So I'll get it straight. I'll number them or something like that. I'll make sure that in future you'll be able to see which one comes after another. Anyway, not a problem. We can handle this. So here is the introduction. It's about thrifting, and I've been reading and watching videos a lot on thrifting, the American term thrifting, which is, you know, going and buying used items from charity stores, from thrift stores, garage sales or garage sales, as you guys say in the US, and yard sales and all those sort of places, to then find something with inherent value and then to resell on eBay, on Amazon, Craigslist, or wherever you choose to sell them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that. Now, in the past, I've had reservations about this. I've seen this before and thought, you know, this doesn't really fit in with the template that I always look to when I start businesses. I probably start 2 or 3 new businesses a year, and I enjoy looking for new niches, new businesses. And the beauty about selling things online is you can have multiple business streams, multiple sales channels, because it's relatively hands-off. You can be selling things 24 hours a day, and there's a relatively small amount of actual work involved in sourcing and the logistics side of getting them shipped out. So that's what I do, and I thoroughly enjoy it. It's my passion in life, and this is why Wholesale Help came about, is to share with you my knowledge and my experiences and my tips and my help and advice. So I've looked at this thrifting niche, and I thought, you know what, this doesn't really fit in, because I sell new items on eBay, and when I'm looking for items, they need to be of a uniform size, so I know when I ship them I can have one size shipping, jiffy bag, padded envelope, whatever you want to call it. And I like to keep things streamlined and economical, so I know that the back end process won't take too long. I'll be able to put one known size item into one known size envelope and ship it. I know how much it costs, and I've done all the homework, and it's a very simplified process. I can get the postage done online and get that all sent out, and I have a post box at the bottom of my road, which makes it about a 30-second walk to get everything posted. So it works really well for me. And with the second-hand items, I just kept thinking, you know, they're going to be all different sizes, different shapes, different weights, and that's just on the back end. On the front end, you've got to find this stuff. You know, when you buying new items wholesale, you buy them in bulk. You do your research, you make a decision, you buy it, and quite often it's one purchase. It might be 2 or 3 purchases to get different lots of bulk items. But once you've got it, you're done, and then you're onto the selling part and the distribution part. But with this, it's an ongoing process. You've got to go out, you've got to find the item every single time. You've then got to get it back. You've got to photograph the item, which isn't always easy, especially in the UK wintertime right now, where natural daylight is not actually readily available that often. It can be quite dull sometimes and cloudy, and you need good natural sunlight to take decent photos. So that's a concern. Plus, you've got to individually list each item and describe the item, assess the item, and then obviously there's the postage on the back end. So this whole thing, it looked to me like a lot of work, and I just thought the profits probably wouldn't be there to support all that work. And I really didn't think it would be something for me. But having said that, I thought it would be an interesting article for the Wholesale Help blog to at least look into it. I can't make a judgment unless I've tried it. At the end of the day, I can tell you what I think, but I can't tell you what I know if I've not done it. Now, can I? So I thought, at least for an interesting article, an interesting experiment, I'll go out and I will attempt this, and I will record how I get on, and even if it's just amusing, then it will be an interesting piece to write about and explain my experiences. So I thought, right, that's what we're going to do. We're going to do that. It'll be good fun. So I've got a few spare eBay accounts that I always keep hanging around, a few buying accounts that are not selling anything, but I have feedback already built up for such an occasion where I want to convert one into a selling account. So I took one of those eBay accounts and said, right, we're going to start from scratch, and we're going to set up a little niche business here and just see how we got on. So off I went to the charity store in the UK. I really don't understand how it works in the US, so if you're in the US, feel free to explain in the comments how this works over there, because in the UK the majority of shops, of stores that sell used items are charity shops. There aren't so many commercial shops. There are a few independents, I guess, here and there, like cash converters and that sort of thing, but in my part of the world, I live in more into the country, and in a relatively small market town, there are just charity stores really that sell second-hand items. So that's what I've got to deal with. But having said that, there's probably about 5 or 6 in my town, and at least, for what I've realised, at least three or four of them have got some really nice things in them. So I had something to go on, and my bank is in town, and I go there a couple of times a week, and either side of the bank is a couple of charity shops, so it's no problem just to pop in there and have a look every now and again. So I went off to the charity shop, and I had a look around, and I must admit, this is the first time I ever set foot in a charity shop. To my shame, I'd never had an interest to go in there, and I was quite amazed at the amount of stuff and the amount of really interesting stuff they got in there. And I had a great time looking around and deciding what to go for, and ultimately I decided on clothes, just purely because I know about that business. I sell designer clothes on eBay. I know about them and I have an interest in them, so I gravitated towards the clothes rails and had a look through, and very quickly I found some very nice items of clothing. So we'll go through now. As you can see on the screen, we've got a couple of items that I found. This is like probably the first week. I went twice and found a couple of things, and this is how I got on with them basically. So let's get stuck into the first thing, shall we? Now, where's those arrows gone? There we are. Right, number one. So the first thing I came across was a Gives and Hawkes designer shirt. Well, I call it a designer shirt. It's more than that. It's a tailored shirt from Savile Row. Gives and Hawkes are a very old, well-established tailors, and if you don't know, Savile Row is probably one of the most famous streets in London, especially if you're into unique and exclusive tailoring. It's probably the place to go to. If you have an extraordinary amount of money, then you would, and you want the best suit you can buy, you would go to Savile Row and get a hand-tailored suit where they measure you up. They ask you exactly what purpose you want the suit for, how you want it to fit, and they give you a massive range of different fabrics and patterns to choose from, and you get a very fine suit from them for an awful lot of money. Now, also they do off-the-peg shirts, which you can imagine are very good quality, and this is one of them. I was surprised to see. You won't find this in the high street. These are very exclusive items, so you will only find them at Geeves and Hawkes in Savile Row in London. So it's a very nice shirt, and I thought I will buy this. It cost me about £4, £5, something like that. I came home, I took this picture. I've probably learned a few things since this first one. I probably would have ironed it. You can see it's a bit creased, and I could have made a better job. It wasn't the brightest day. It's a bit dark, the photo, so I would have done a better job and probably taken more pictures of it. That's the only picture I took, but it was all it needed because it sold pretty quickly. Within a few days it sold. I put it up for $18.95, and that's what I got. I maybe could have got more, I don't know, but I'm quite happy with that profit margin, to be honest with you. It cost just a few pounds, so that's more or less all profit. After eBay fees and PayPal fees, I would expect, what's that, £19? Yeah, just over £15, I guess. Between £15, £16 profit. That's very nice for one item, and considering I picked up a couple of items on that trip, I was very happy with that. So that was the first item. This is the second item. Again, another learning process. Yves Saint Laurent, very good designer name. I thought that will sell very easily. It's a great condition shirt. I'm not going to mess about with things that are a bit tired and things are a bit worn and marks or rips or anything else like that. So I'm only looking for things that are 100%. Now, when I got this home and started prepping it to take the photo, I realised there was a small mark down on one of the sleeves near the cuff. It was very small. It wasn't very obvious, and it was in a non-obvious place. But I felt like I needed to point it out and make it very obvious. So I did that. And I thought I'll just sell it for, relatively cheap to get it moved on, and then we'll carry on. So I put it up for £9.97, and it sold again within a few days. So yeah, didn't make a fortune on this, made a few pounds, and learnt a bit as well to be more careful and to look carefully at the items. Now, I probably could have sold that for more, but I wanted to get it moving, and it sold. So happy days. I was happy with that. Now, this next item sold in less than 24 hours. This is great. I literally went to the bank at the end of the day, popped in next door. There was about 15 minutes left before the end of the day, and I had a really quick look through their clothes rails. I saw the Ralph Lauren polo label and thought, oh, that's a nice t-shirt. It was only about £3. I thought it looked good. And I thought that's a desirable thing. I like it. I paid my £3 and I brought it home, and I listed it about 7 o'clock in the evening, £14.95 with postage, and by about 5:15 the next day, so less than 24 hours, it had sold, and very happy with the profit. A comfortable £10 profit in less than 24 hours from just a trip down to the town that I was going to do anyway. So these first few purchases, I'm thinking, in actual fact, this isn't becoming less of an experiment and more of a business now. This is actually making reasonable money per shirt. I'm thinking to myself, what if I ramp this up now, and what if I come away with 10 items per visit and maybe go down 2 or 3 times a week? What sort of money am I going to turn around on this business stream? Quite a bit of money. And as you all know, strength is in numbers, and it's probably a lot more economical to wrap up and post 4 or 5 items at a time, or 10 items at a time, than it is to do one. So I'm starting to think, this is becoming an interesting blog post, but also an even more interesting business. My thoughts are changing rapidly. So let's see how it got even better on the next item. Now we're really talking. I found this Vivienne Westwood vintage skirt, and I looked at it and thought, no, this is nice. I have a feeling this is pretty special. I'm not going to put it up for a buy it now. This is something you need to remember if you're unsure about the value of something. If you put a buy it now, you could be losing out on money, just simply because it could be worth a lot more. So I thought, okay, it cost me a fiver again, £4.50, something like that. I'm not going to lose anything. I'll put it up for £4.99, so I don't lose any money. I'll put it in a 7-day auction. I'll do the best I can with it and just see what happens. I have a feeling I'll let the public decide what it's worth. and because it's such a popular name, I knew it would get bids. Whereas one item, if it's a bit specialist, you might only get one person that wants it, and if you only get one up person and you start it at 99p, for example, you're only going to get 99p. Now, so there's some things bite now is important, and other things an auction will probably be better. Now, this did not move an inch from that price for most of the 7 days. I listed it on a Sunday, I think, and it got to the just coming up to the weekend again, but it had a lot of visits, a lot of page views up into the hundreds, so I knew it was getting a lot of attention, and it had about 12 people watching the auction. So I thought there's enough people there. They're hanging on until the end to put some bids in, so I was confident it was going to do okay. And I think in actual fact it could have done even better. I made the absolute rookie mistake of misspelling the auction listing. I don't know if any one of you spotted that yet. Look at this. I put 3 N's. I was so careful to get the spelling right, because this is another tactic about flipping eBay listings, is to find misspelled or badly listed items that are going for less than they should, and then reselling them. But in actual fact, it got so many views, I don't think it actually hampered it. But I really kicked myself when I realised, because obviously you've still got the name Westwood, and it probably brought up enough people to find it. And also, a lot of people look for misspelled items on eBay, and it probably got just as much attention by being misspelled as it did anyway. I'm surmising. I'm quite happy with the outcome. As you can see, it made £57. So after postage, a few pounds postage, and then the fees, it's pretty much £50 profit from one item that didn't take very long to photograph and list. So I was very, very pleased with that. I mean, the profits for these things coming in now are starting to get very, very attractive. I'm thinking, no, this is something that I'm actually going to pay attention to. I'm going to scale it up. I'm going to get some more stock in, and pound for pound, for the money you're investing, when you're only investing £3, £4, £5 at a time per item, just imagine if you had £300 worth of items. That's a lot of stock. You could build a lot of stock in your store. And something I may have touched on previous eBay related tips videos, but one of the main factors of eBay is volume. You need to get volume in your store. Look at all the successful eBay sellers. They have one thing in common. They have a lot of items. You very rarely find someone who's doing really well on eBay selling 10 items. They'll have a lot of items. That way, even if you're only getting 15 people looking at your item a day, if you've got 500 things, that's a lot of people looking at your items per day. And then because of that, you'll get a steady flow of people buying your items. And if you're shipping out 10, 20 items a day, and you can make it, say, £10 or $15, whatever the amount is per item, then what you have is a very nice income there. And then all you need to do is make sure you've got a tight back end and front end process, so you're not spending forever doing it, and then you've got a very nice business. And if it ramps up from there and gets even busier, then why not you can get your wife or your girlfriend in to help you wrap the items up and process the items, a family member or even a friend to just pay a part-time income to actually come and help you do all this. And you can really make some serious money from this type of thing. So that's why I want to make this video series, is to show you how I get on with it, is to document my process. It's right at the beginning. I thought it'd be a great idea to show you how I've stumbled across this, and it's taught me a lesson to not rule anything out. My idea that it would take too much time is not so much true. It does take more time than the new stuff, but the potential profits allow for that. So it is a little bit more time consuming, but there are ways around making it less so. And I'll be going over that in next videos. So let's go. I'm not quite finished. This was probably the highlight, but I've got a few more to show you. Another one here, as you can see. I think this might be the last one actually. Giorgio Armani, another no-brainer. I came across this. It was about £7, so a little bit more. I probably could have listed this for a bit more as well, but this is early days, and I'm quite happy with, if I can turn around £10 per item, I'm very happy indeed. I'm not going to be that greedy about getting an extra £3, £5, £10. because it's turnover. If you can get the turnover and you can get things coming in and out as quickly as possible, then that's when you're going to be the most successful. So I'm quite happy with that. I think I'll probably keep them at that sort of price just to keep things moving. When things are extra special, I'll obviously put them up for more, like the Vivienne Westwood skirt and some other things that come along. And I've actually got a couple of things online now which I expect are going to be interesting. They're up for auction. I think they'll go the same way. Fingers crossed. I'll show you in other videos when it sells, but there is one item that currently has an awful lot of, it's got over 100 views now. It's only been on since, where are we, Wednesday today. It's only been on since Saturday. It's got over 100 views and about 8 people watching. So I just have an inkling that might go well. It's got no bids whatsoever, just like the skirt. But keep tuned for that. If you haven't, subscribe to the channel, because that will notify you when I upload a new video, and you can keep track of all these things that are going on. So do that. And also, by the way, if you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate if you like it. You know, give it the old thumbs up at the bottom left of the video, because you know, that means a lot to me. I'd appreciate if you did that. So that's pretty much it. Let's just sum up the initial few sales here. I've got a nice little finally graphic here. See, I've made a bit of effort here. I think I've done quite well with this. So finally, let's say on my initial impressions, you can actually fit it around what you're doing in your daily life. So it doesn't have to be, if you can do that, it doesn't have to be as labour intensive as I thought it could be. And I expected to be going through shop to shop to shop and maybe finding one item every now and again. But in actual fact, depending on what you home in on, you could be coming out with armfuls of stuff, which makes it a lot more profitable, because if you're going in and spending half an hour and coming out with a potential few £100 worth of stock, that then is well worth your time and effort. Great profit margins. I think I've demonstrated that on the first few items. These things, compared to new items, have got massive potential to earn great profits. And for the money that you invest, you can invest £5 of your own money and actually get £50 back. That's exceptional. But even just to get £10 back, you know, quite often sort of the template would be to, if you invest £20 to, you want to make £20, so you sell it for £40. But you know, you're far outweighing this. Is even on an average thing, you're investing 5 and getting back 10. That's very healthy profit margins and a lot of scope. Even just selling, you know, 4 or 5 things a week would get you £50 worth of pocket money in your pocket. And if somebody said just for a few, you know, just for an hour a week's work, you know, would you take £50 in your pocket? And you say, yeah, that will be a nice bit of pocket money, thanks. That'd be great. So you can fit this around your life. This could be your holiday money. You could take an extra holiday year through this. You don't have to totally devote your life to it. Or you could save up for a new car or something like that. It can be as big or as compact as you like, and take as much or as little time up as you like. It's very, very flexible, this model. I've just said it. That's it. It's fully scalable. You don't have to it's not going to rule your life if you don't want it to. There are a lot of people that have it as a part-time hobby, that's something they're interested in. I think a lot of people love to go out there and hunt for things and really enjoy the hunt and finding the treasures and uncovering the bargains that are out there. And people just love to do that. And to actually make money from them as well is just, you know, the icing on the cake, so to speak. So that's what it's got going for it. And the downsides, not that much, surprisingly. I thought it would be mostly downsides. In actual fact, that you have got to find a process and a template for when you can get down regularly to find the items, how you're going to photograph them. You need decent photographs on eBay and Amazon. It's what sells the product, decent photographs. So you've got to get into a habit, maybe coming home, maybe you need some daylight bulbs in your area that you're going to use to set up a bit of a lighting rig if you're going to photograph in the evening, if you don't have time to photograph in daylight. So this all needs to be thought out. But if you can get into a bit of a template, then you can really get these things listed relatively quickly and easily. And if you've got 4 or 5 items, you might get them listed that evening, then they're online. And if you keep doing that once a week, you build up a stock, and before long you've got a regular income. So it's definitely something that you can do. I'm managing to do it, and I have, you know, other businesses that I need to take my time on. So if I can do it, you can do it too. And we'll be discussing these different things in other videos. I'll be showing you, not only I'll be showing you what I pick up and what I find and how much they sell for. I'll also be explaining some tips and some advice, maybe looking at some lighting rigs for taking photos, cameras, the best way to take the pictures, how to get the best, how not to do it, and also listing descriptions and things like that. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you do subscribe to get some more of these tips, and I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope you enjoy the series. There is another series I'll be making, look out for that, called eBay Tips and Tricks, which is specific tips and pieces of advice that I think are important if you are going to be selling on eBay, regardless of whether it's used items or new items. That will be a regular series as well for this year. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. One more thing, if you're not a member of the Wholesale Help Members Club, you can still get free membership by following the link in the description box below. You can get free access to my videos, guides, and all aspects of buying and selling online. So check that out if you haven't done so already. Okay, that's it. Thank you once again for watching. My name's Andy Lawrence, and I will catch you on the next video.